think it'll have been 7 years. 7 years of giving a shir about Purim every week. We're working our way through now this sefer. This is the Manos Halevi by Rav Shlomo Alkabetz, author of Chadori. It's a really fascinating and unexpectedly for me
What is the title?
wordy. It's called Manos Halevi. Like he actually gave it a shalach manos to his father-in-law on Purim. Like he was a Levi, and he called it Manos Halevi. Like it was his shalach manos. It's like he made almost like he had fun with it, and it's a very wordy sefer, and he brings all of these contemporary mefarshim that are very hard to find nowadays, and he brings like lots of different opinions about the psukim and how to understand the psukim, and then he weaves in how he sees it, what he prefers and how he sees it, and very, very special sefer. We've been going very slowly, like a pasuk or two per shir for a long time. We started this probably 2.5 years ago or something like that. First we did the Midrash Rabbah, Esther Rabbah, also very slowly. And welcome to Professor Shevach. It's really special to have you here. And very special to have you here, you know, like a Karlebach and the Karlebach Yeshiva, and also personally, I remember my father mentioning you as well as somebody he respected very much, and really nice to meet you. Okay, I'm gonna record also for the Zoom recording. All the okay, this is so we're at Perek Hey Pasuk Hey. Excuse me. Esther has made her first request that the Melech and Haman get together. Pasuk Hey is Vayomer HaMelech Maharu es Haman lasois is devar Esther Vayva HaMelech v'Haman El Mishteh Asher Asasa Esther. They came to the drinking party that Esther had made. Chaim. So, first he quotes from Sharei Bina, which is from Rabbi Eliezer of Bermaiza, and he said who first says, "What's this Maharu et Haman? Why does it say, quickly get Haman, quick, Maharu et Haman? Like there was a behala, there was like a hullabaloo. They had to get Haman quick. What was so quick?" Says the Sharei Bina, Kodem shetit kalkel hasuda, because Esther had said Ela mishteh asher asiti lo, means the food which she already made the food. Means when she came to make her first request, she had pre-cooked. She had right. Imagine the amuna that went in. She wasn't sure, like she might even die. It's before even the king extends the rod, the golden scepter, the chule. So she's imagine that cooking, the tefillas that went into that, right? It's out of this world. The just as an aside, we're going to get there next week, but after this Suda, it says, Vayetze Haman b'yamahu sameach. Haman went out happy. And the Bedichever asks, like, how could this Rasha have simcha? How could be sameach? And he says it's because of Esther's cooking. The Jewish food went into Haman. And then he says if Haman and his kids were all hung, who's the bnei banav? How were their grandchildren? How was there any continuation of the line? It's because with the power of that food, he conceived another child that night in between the two sudas, and though the spark of holiness from the kugel went went moved on. Gewalt. In any case, Esther cooked, so that's why it had to happen fast, right? Food's gonna go bad. Food's gonna go bad. And furthermore, all from the Sharei Bina, he brings Gam ki haya retzoni lecholim hamalka ani v'hi levad. Really, the Melech Achashverosh would rather have a private Suda with Esther. She found chen in his eyes. He gave the golden scepter. He would rather just have a Suda with her private. But avatel retzoni mipnei retzona acharei shehi bachra b'zeh. But I'll change what I would want for what she wants. She wants Haman to be there. We're going to talk about what that means for each of us individually. What does it mean to invite Haman to your private audience with Hamelech, which we know the Midrash Rabbah says, every time it says Hamelech Stam, without the name Achashverosh, it means also Kodesh. It's a remez to Melech Malchei HaMalachi. So why would we ever invite Haman to, and this is what we're going to look into, what does that mean for our personal avoda? We'll get there. First I want to analyze all the psukim. So the Melech, in Pshat, was willing to do something he wouldn't usually do. King and the queen are high status. Even the highest ranking minister is not really invited usually, to the royal table. There's another madrega, it's all about the rankings and everything, right? So it was a big deal that Achashverosh was willing to do this in the first place. And in this way, it was also a big piyus to Haman. As we saw before, the Gemara brings an incredible number of reasons why. 12 different reasons the Gemara brings. Why did she invite Haman to the Suda? An incredible number of reasons. And he, as we saw a few weeks ago, he explained how they all weave together and they're all interconnected. And even though they're sometimes opposite. Like over here, he invited to make, one of the reasons was lifnei shever gaon. There's a pasuk that before the evil gets broken down, they have like a high and then poof, right? Like so there was this idea of Dafka lifting Haman up, making him feel very, very chashuv, and then he can be disposed of, and also the opposite. And the same thing here is you mentioned here from the Sharibina, that is also in order to get Achashverosh jealous, in order to awaken jealousy in Achashverosh. Why are you inviting Haman here? You have a crush on him? What's going on? There's something, there's a connection over here? What is this? And Bichlal?
She just needs to crush him.
Right. You got the word right. So right, so what is going on here? So two opposite things. To lift him up, he brings these two opposite things, to lift him up and to awaken jealousy in Achashverosh. And then also, Lahagdil Medurat Hakina, he notices, I think this is also from the Sharibina, Lahagdil Medurat Hakina, to magnify the bonfire of jealousy that was supposed to be happening within Achashverosh. He said, Yavo Haman el Mishteh Shasta Esther. The pasuk doesn't say Vayavo'u Hamelech v'Haman. The grammar is wrong. It should say Vayavo'u. They came. Why did it say Vayavo is in the singular? And he came. And he came. Who's he? Hamelech v'Haman. How does it make sense? Vayavo Hamelech v'Haman. Say Vayavo'u. They came. Achar shehem shnayim b'shurat hadim shemar Vayavo Haman im Hamelech. Or to say Vayavo Haman im Hamelech l'mishteh. What's Vayavo Hamelech v'Haman doesn't make sense. The harot kishneim ba'im ke'echad ke'ish echad. V'lo nikar mi hamelech u'mi hamishneh. You couldn't tell who's the king and who's the second to the king. All of this was also to create an energy that's reflected in the grammar, that there was an energy of undermining the complete royalty of the melech, right? And just bear all this in mind in terms of what this might mean for us spiritually. When we go to talk to Hashem, we're going to do hitbodedut, and we go to have private audience with Hashem. What does that mean to invite Haman along? Right? Very, very, very deep, very gewalt thing. Okay. And both aspects are there, that we're going to be able to, and also having two, inviting and then saying we're going to do it again, not even mentioning the first time why, and what is this all about? What was that about? What is that about? What does that teach us personally in our spiritual lives, in our davening? What does it teach us? Hi. Remember Melech Esther, Mashelatech. So the king asked her, and here he also notices that there's like two nouns and two verbs. Mashelatech v'inaten lach. What is your question? What is your request? And I'll give it to you. It will be given to you. Uma bakashatech ad chatzi malchut v'te'as. Two things, she'ela and bakasha, right? And so he says, first of all, sorry, even before that, what made the king ask her this? Katuv midrash lekach tov. The midrash brings, shehem hayu ochli v'shotim usmechim. The Melech and Haman were like down to party. They were hanging out. They're having a great time. Vehi hayta yoshevet aguma. She was sitting there, like downtrodden, in like a agmat nefesh, in like a state of how do you translate agmat nefesh? Like unease, like not in a good place, right? And he think he could see that. That's why he initiated. Says, "Hey, what's on your mind? You know, ma'ashelate, anything you ask for, right?" And this also, as we're going to see in our davening, it's okay to be uncomfortable in davening. It's okay to be uncomfortable in the davening and just kind of sweat through that. And in some way that can even elicit a Hashem asking us, hey, what's on your mind? Right? That's kind of thing that can happen. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Like we saw in our Hizbara this year, David HaMelech, Tehillim 27. L'cha amar libi, bakshu fanais, panecha Hashem avakesh, and Rashi brings, L'cha b'shlichutcha. On your behalf, my heart says, ask for my face, capital M, right? The Hashem does speak to us through our heart. There's such a thing as noticing, as nuance, as coming in even before you say anything, quote unquote, hearing Hashem say, what's happening? I see you're downtrodden. I see something's up, right? There is such a thing as that. Chaim. So, ma she'elatech im hi devar mu'at. So first of all, she'elatech, he says, she'elatech, he says, and this is him talking, this is Rav Shlomo Alkabetz talking. She'elatech is devar mu'at. If it's something small, poof, inatein lach, you got it, right? Bakashatech, bakasha is a big thing. That's what he says. Bakasha is different than she'ela. She'ela is like a small request, and bakasha is a big thing. Imi bakasha moral davar gadol. So then ad chatzi malchut, right? You're the queen. Half the kingdom is yours, right? You can ask big, right? Pretty amazing, right? Pretty amazing. So especially if you translate that into Hizbara, that Kadosh Baruch Hu says, what's that?
She won the lottery.
The lottery, yeah. Yeah. Every time we talk to Hashem, we win the lottery. One second. Speaking of winning the lottery, my 12-year-old daughter. Oh, sorry, she's listening to the call. Nachamalei, everything okay? Yeah, everything okay? Oh my gosh. Do you have their phone number? So, one second, let me give you their number, okay? I'm going to get it for you. Sorry, my daughter's trying to pick up my other daughter. My wife at the moment is in Uman with my 11-year-old daughter.
Nice.
And my 12-year-old daughter is picking up my 6-year-old daughter. We had a whole thing set up. It was supposed to have happened. She was supposed to have picked her up around 2 hours ago. Whatever. That's all part of the story. I'm just looking. I just have to give her a phone number. Sorry about this.
Yeah, I was wondering how things are going.
I was very
Now
close.
you know.
I thought I had it worked out because my 15-year-old daughter was the one who was supposed to pick her up at 6. And I gave her money to order pizza, so I had shochad in there. It was perfect. Like it was supposed to be. And now she passed the job on to the 12-year-old daughter, stayed home.
Kept the money.
Yeah. Okay, Nachamalei, can you hear me? Okay, Chani Toker is 052 714-2830. Love you. That's the Hashem. That's the Hashem. That's the Hashem. Okay. So, Sheila Bakasha. And Vatan Esther, Vatomar. I have a minhag. Some people have a minhag here not to do a regular sof pasuk when you read the Megillah here, but to do Sheila Si Vakasha Si. It's like a moment where, like, she's being, like, what's on your mind, Esther? Gewalt. And she's about to also eventually soon she's going to die. The next Mishta, she's going to divulge her identity that she's Jewish and the whole thing, and Haman's going to be outed and etc. And it's very, a lot is riding on this, right? Fine.
I think we should read the Megillah again.
Every day.
Yeah. It's right there.
It's right there. That's the issue. Look, Chodesh Tammuz, according to Sefer Hayetzira, every month has a 4-letter combination of Hashem's name. We spoke with this last week. It's Tammuz. The Tammuz is Kol Zeh Einenu Shaveh Li. It's Haman's statement. We spoke about that last week at length. So Tammuz has a very special connection to Dafka to Purim. Okay. So he says Matzati. So he said, I found the perush of Rabbi Yosef Yichya Zal. Shenitoreh adikduk harishon. What does it mean, Vatan Esther? Right? He asks a question. Yitur v'shinui has extra words and has a change in the words. Hayitur kidai shemar Vatan Esther matzati chen b'nei hamelech. She could have just gone to the next pasuk, right? The next pasuk chet, is im matzati chen b'nei hamelech. You just go right there. What's this? Vatan Esther v'tomar she'elati v'kashati, and then she doesn't say really what the bakasha. She only just says, "I want to have another mishte." And what's vatan? What's vatomar? What's going on? Like this, it's a very, the whole pasuk is almost extra. Vatan Esther v'tomar she'elati v'kashati. So. Lama yeter pasuk zeh. Why do we need this whole pasuk? Vatan Esther v'tomar v'achar kach imatzati chen latetet she'elati v'lasot bekashati. It's like all these extra, this whole flowery, like vashinui halahu tevat vatan. The strange thing is the word vatan. Lo asakin l'mal b'pam harishona. When the Melech first asked her, Malach Esther HaMalka, when she first came in, and he gave her, and he extended the golden scepter, and she came in, and he asked her, "What's up, Malach Esther HaMalka?" So she doesn't say Vatan Esther. Only here it says Vatan Esther. Why? What's this answering? What's going on? So it says, first of all, I found for Rabbi Yosef Yichya Shenitoreh L'Dikduk Harishon Vatan Esther until the Davar HaMelech. Vatan Esther is, she's answering the king's request. The Od Amrad Varim Nosafim, and she said furthermore other things. Vatomar. And the Vatomar is going on, Imatzati chen beinei melech v'imol melech tov. She says extra. So Vatan is that she's answering, and Vatomar is going on, if I found chen in your eyes. And because what could I ever ask for? You're asking for a sheila and bakasha. My deepest and most important sheila bakasha is just limtzo chen b'nei hamelech, right? That's all it's really about, right? Which is a very, very profound thing in terms of ben adam lamakom. What's it all really about? Do I need the red bicycle, or I just need a hug from Abba? Like bottom line, imatzasi chen b'nei hamelech, right? And then he says furthermore, matzati katuv. He found a perush, doesn't have an author, he didn't know the author. Matzati katuv b'lashon hazeh. Yesh omrim ki she'elati u'bakashatihim devarim amra b'liba. The she'elati u'bakashati was vatomar, she was saying that to herself. My question, what I need, what I'm asking for, Behem milot Amar Melech shelateich v'lateich, she took them, that when the king said, Ma shelateich v'inatenach v'kashateich al chatzil malchut, that she took that as a siman tov. She was internalizing that the pasuk. It's a very like psychological pshat. The pasuk is telling you, according to what he found katuv, that she was internalizing. Wow, the king wants my bakasha and my sheila, right? But Omar telling her own self, Esther, we got this, right? Like, and sometimes you have your internal dialogue going on. Yeah, you're did you hear what he just said? King, right? And v'chenem rabbi liba she'elati b'kashati amar elai hamelech harei siman tov la'asherim levavi. This is a siman tov. This is a good sign. Things are going well. V'chazra v'sidra dvareya, and then she said, imatzati chen. Then he brings a third pshat. He mamish brings a lot of pshatim about this pasuk, right? The first one we saw is she's answering, but then she first of all wants the king to know that my sheilan bakasha is metziat chen, right? Second is she's not even answering him; she's talking to her own self. It's an internal dialogue. Third pshat from the Targum, which it says tov mizeh u'mizeh, is midu muva mdiva metargem shetirgem ve'ativas Esther ve'amart leis anabaya palgus malchus b'shelasi v'lo binyan beis mikdash b'va'usi. Like the Gemara says that a chatzia malchut, the king was hinting to her, he could ask for anything, but not the mikdash. Because the mikdash had too powerful of a like a break in his hegemony over the known world. He wants power. Mikdash, not that, right? And so when she was saying Sheila Sibakashati, she was answering him and saying, don't worry, I'm not asking for the Mikdash. That's the Targum Pshat. And then he says, V'mistaber li, but what I think Pshat is, after all four, there's a fifth Pshat. Is that three? That's three. The fourth Pshat, sorry. Kvar hikdamnu ki Sheila Bakasha him shnei dvarim mitchalfim. V'amelech misupak. Like, is she asking something small or is it something big? Meaning, ma bakashatech means kemo o ma bakashatech. Or asking, are you asking a sheila or are you asking a bakasha? It's one other way of reading that also. Like the vav in mekalel aviv ve'imo. A person is not only have a mitzvah not to curse both parents. The mitzvah or either the father or the mother. So the vav, this is not the first time he's done this from that pasuk, to show you that vav can sometimes mean or. Kalel aviv ve'imo mot yumat doesn't mean both. It's aviv o imo. So that's, until I learned the sefer, I never thought about vav as meaning or. In any case, it's vatam vatumar kishteyan hen. And so her answer is, I have a sheila and a bakasha. You were asking, is it this or that? I actually have both. Sheila u bakasha. Well, derech amur lamala, ki yesh sheila nikmat hoye v'yesh bakasha hatzalat Haman. There's two things. We've got to get rid of Haman, and we've got to save the Jews. Those are two different things, right? The sheila, the smaller thing, is getting rid of. It's pretty big, but still, it's only one person. The bakasha is changing a huge, 127 country policy, about the 13th of Adar, to save the lives of all the Jews. So I have both things, right? And this also we have to think about spiritually. There's getting rid of the negative voice that is the Haman in us when we come to daven. We're inviting Haman in to our davening. And there's also, I need to daven to get rid of the effect, all the effect that has had on my whole life, all the reverberations for other people, my family life, my work life, my everything about me. It's not just that there should be no more of this Haman, but what he set in motion needs to be stopped. And that's a much bigger thing. Okay. And then he says, V'hayoter karov elai. So he brings first mistaberli, and then he says yoter karov, another. This is the fifth pshat. Another thing, yoter karov elai. It's amazing how much he just goes deeper and deeper into the words. Shetevas vata'an doesn't just mean to answer, like it says ve'anita ve'amarta, when you bring the bikurim to Yerushalayim. I saw recently from Rabbi Kivak that you know how some Hasidim have really fat gartels, like the fat, thick, like the Yerushalmis, a lot of them have these like big, very big, and they tie in the back with a string, right? He said that this goes back to Bikurim. In the times when Am Yisrael were bringing Bikurim to Yerushalayim, people were so happy to be doing the mitzvah that they would tie little vials of the first fruits onto their belt and dance around with them. The Simcha Shel Mitzvah. Beautiful? So in any case, how did I get to that? Don't remember. Oh, Vanisa Vamarta. Vanita Vamarta is about Bikurim. And there Vanita means to speak loudly. Vanita Vamarta. Vayan Iyov Harishon Lashon Tshuva. When you're bringing and you're doing the Vidui Maestros, you're doing this statement of bringing your first fruits to Yerushalayim. Is a thing you say to the Kohen when you arrive at the Mikdash. We say it in the Haggadah today, Armi Oved Avi, and so on. So that all those verses, it says Ve'anita, but who are you answering? You're not answering a question. Anita means to speak loudly. And he says more than that. Hu lashon se'aka. It's a lashon of cry, of a cry. To like loud, to like roar a little bit. Say it loud, say it out, right? Sing it out, right? Se'aka, more than scream, like scream it out. Se'aka. V'chein katav haralbag. The Ralbag writes this. V'chein katav Rabbi Ben Ezra on the pasuk of Anisa V'amarta. Amar shetzaka b'kol, and so what the pasuk is telling you is that Esther cried out, v'amra, right? Vatan Esther, she means didn't say anything. She just cried out. She said, right? Vatan Esther, hatzaka hi vatan, and then v'hamira is that she then said, imatzati chen b'nei hamelech, right? So, this is also something, of course, Rabbi Nachman said, you're all fine people, but this is not what I wanted. I wanted you to be like wild animals that are crying out through the night in the forest. Around Beit Shemesh, you can hear the jackals, right? Yes, they're like, it's like, you can, sometimes I actually cry out with them. So, Hashem, Eretz Yisrael noises. So then she says, "Imatzasi chen b'nei hamelech, imatzasi chen b'nei hamelech, v'mal hamelech toiv, l'seis shelas v'lasseis es bakasha siyavoy hamelech v'haman, elam ishteh she'aseh lahem, u'machar eseh kidvar hamelech." Come, right? If I found chen, right? So first he says, Einena chafetza b'moar v'matan v'malchut. The first thing she started with is say, look, the most important thing to me is that I have chen. And shetzarich she'emtza chen b'einai v'gam demalko lehavi nazik rak sheyeh tov lo. Kolom ravim tov b'einav v'im al hamelech tov. What I'm doing is for the tov of the melech, right? I want this, what I'm asking for, it's for me, but I'm asking it for you also, which is a big thing, the Baal Shem Tov, that Rizal. It's a big thing in davening, that we don't, not just davening for what I want, but this is for your sake, Hashem. It will be better for you if I have the red bicycle, because I won't get stuck in traffic in Yerushalayim. But this is Aisha Nechama just joined on the Zoom. So then he brings Umnam Hosifa Metziat Chen B'Pam Hazot Mashalom Rab Rishona. Why does she add Metzias Chen here? but she didn't say the first time when she first came into the king and asked to have a mishteh. Why here is she saying chen? Yan kavanata la'avira tamoed, because her kavanah is to ask for a second mishteh. She's not going to yet say really what she's there for. She's going to say Yavo Melech v'Haman machar, right? Uvazek tzat zilzul lidchot hadavar miyom liyom. So it's a little bit not so nice. The king is busy, doesn't just do a mishteh and then do another one just like that. Although this king, there are 180 days of it. Yeah.
What do they think is the reason for her dragging it out?
Oh, what do they think?
What is
Good
her
question.
author?
Oh yeah, he's gonna say. Yeah, he's gonna say. That's the end of the pasuk when she makes this bakasha. But first he's saying about the Metzias Chen that there's a need for some like a little bit extra kind of buttering up, because what I'm gonna ask for is a little bit zilzu, a little bit like to just have another meeting. And for us though, what does that mean? What does that mean in terms of davening? Can I understand it right to mean that it is okay if the first time you show up and you really want to bring Haman in and you really want to tell Hashem about this darkness that you're carrying around. It is okay if you can't do it. Just you show up and you say, I'm trying to find Chen, trying to do Al HaMelech Tov. I'm going to come back again. And that is okay. Right? It doesn't have to, you don't have to finish the first time, right? Very gewaldig, right? Building confidence, right? Umnam, Omra machar esek dvar melech, tam dichuta hadavar lemacharato. Why put it off for the next day? So first of all, he brings the Midrash Yalkut. Mara talumar machar elishakol zarosh el malek limudim lipol lemachar. The Zera of Amalek with his psukim in a few different places. In Shemot, Machar, Anochi Nitzav Al Rosh HaGiva, Moshe Rabbeinu says, tomorrow we're going to fight against. Amalek comes to fight. Moshe says, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be on the Giva with my hands up, right? Tomorrow, Machar. And of course, Milcham, the Dor doesn't bring that here. The Dor is also like later. But then also in Sefer Shmuel, when David HaMelech is fighting, Vayakem David is fighting Amalek. Shmuel Aleph Perek Lamed Pasuk Yud Zayin. Vayakem David mehanef Yosef ad ha'erev le macharatam. Uvadrash Amru Tam Hamem al ha'Amalekim le macharatam hamacharat shelahem. There, like macharatam, their tomorrow. They have a special tomorrow. Amalek. This is this thing that lifnei. It's related to the lifnei shever gaon idea that right now. It's like the idea of like ducking the wave, right? Right now, it's very powerful. I can't do anything about it. Shulam aleichem. It's coming to get me, right? But l'machar, Amalek can't play the long game. Cannot play the long ball. Amalek, it doesn't have the staying power. He's got, right? Like we say in Bifroach in Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbos. How do we go into Shabbos? It's so amazing. If you look at Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbos, most of the Mizmor is about Hashem's justice. My high. Why is it dafka about Hashem's justice? I think, I don't know if I saw this somewhere, if it's my thought, I think maybe my thought. Why is because in the Gemara, the sisma, how do you say sisma in English? The code, the language for kfira, for heresy, is leis din, the leis dayan. It starts with leis din. That's what, and for most Jews, that's big because there's this real argument. We don't see so much din. Like a lot of times we do, but those few percentage points that we don't are unbelievably disturbing. So leis din v'leis dayan. Comes Shabbos. Why is Mizmor Shir Liyom Shabbos all about mishpat? The whole Mizmor Shir Liyom Shabbos, the whole thing is about mishpat. Is because to be able to really trust and go in to Shabbos, I need to heal my complaint of leis din. We all are carrying around a little bit of leis din, and where's the dayan, right? We're carrying it around. It's okay. It's normal. And Shabbos, to go into Shabbos, we have to heal our sense of justice, righteousness in the world. It doesn't seem things seem really, especially the last bunch of years, things extra crazy. And so, one of the big ways, there's two ways that I can think of. You can look and learn it. It's such a deep mizmor. But one way is the short game and the long game. Bifroach Rishayim Kemo Esev, right? Lehisham Damadead. Yes, they have their thing for now, but they don't have the long game. They don't have netzach. There's no netzach netzachim. Lehisham Damadead. And the other thing in Maseches in Mizmor Shel Shabbos is Koivele Mereim Tishmana Aznai. Very deep. Rashi says Tishmana Aznai. Maybe bring the Tilma. I'll just quote it exactly. It's the last one. It's right. The last one. Yeah. It's a very amazing Rashi. That Vatabeit eni b'shurai, v'kamim alai mereim, tishmana aznai. My eyes see also. Eyes seeing is immediate. Ears hearing is hearing is sequential. Hearing is over time. Similar, also similar. But Rashi says something different here. Rashi says, just a few words. B'kroiv alai mereim, b'kam alai mereim, al rishayim hakamim alai shamu aznai, al rishayim kamim alai that I see, but shamu aznai machorei hapargod. My ears have heard from behind the great curtain that separates us from like Hashem's plan and like clarity. Machorei hapargod shelo yo'ilu lechalot otanu. Kach shamati, says Rashi. It won't work. They will lose. So there's this. This is like kind of more of like an ESP kind of idea. On Shabbos we have spidey sense. We just know that it's going to be okay. There's like a ruach that comes. There's a shmiya me'acharei hapargod that comes in with Shabbos. Okay. So again, we're talking about why does she ask for another meeting, right? Chaim. So this is one thing is because Amalek is lemudim. The Medrash says, "Maras el mamachar el shekol zarush el Amalek lemudim lipol lemachar." This is their way. This is their habit. This is their modus operandi. They fall tomorrow. That's what happens, right? And macharasam also macharasam. It says in Shmuel Aleph. Amacharat shelahem shehem lemudim lelakot mimacharas. Sehi lachem v'amalek machar. Moshe Rabbeinu says to Yoshua. And then he brings Rabbi Meir ben Arama. B'inyan zeh dvarim nechonim ad me'od. Matzinu lavinu zaken b'vo'o b'beit Lavan nitzte'er de Esav. Zikna shel Haman. We see that there was like a whole sort of miniature story of Esav and Yaakov. Yaakov getting troubled by Esav on his way home, who is the great grandfather of Haman. And he was able to be saved through davening, and through pius, and through doron. Those are the three things, right? He prepared himself with three things: davening, appeasing, and gifts. And milchama. Sorry, pius, doron of one thing, and milchama, and also ready to fight, right? So here, too, she had this in mind. She had in mind the legacy and the, she knew her history and she knew her spiritual dynamism. So first shot is, Machar, Amalek doesn't have the long game. Second shot is that she's not sure which of these three is going to bring about the downfall to Haman. This is Rabbi Meir Arama, and so she's and that we saw that throughout Tanakh sometimes it went with one of those ways, that with the when they left Mitzrayim, it was the tefillah and milchama, but they didn't give any gifts to Amalek at that time, right? And then later, when Shaul was commanded by Shmuel, Az lo nitztarchu letefillah, they didn't have like this thing of like Moshe Rabbeinu standing up and davening. It was just milchama, ki mitzvasan zuhi tfilasan, just having the tzivui of the Navi was enough, like davening, shluchei mitzvayin and nizokin. V'atabi me Mordechai ve'Esther bal hem atzara hazot kamkein, ayidei Haman ha'agagi, who was a descendant of King Agag of Amalek, v'hiskinu atzum letfila, and so everyone also previously, and we spoke of that at length, everyone's davening, everyone's fasting, right? Kasher asu avotem, kol zman shepagamnu vol zevahem. Avon nistab ka Esther. What is the thing? So on the one hand, she's inviting him to the thing. It's a little bit daron. She's a little bit giving Haman a present. It was tafka very gishmak for him, getting invited. He came out sameach. He ate Esther's kugel. V'chulei v'chulei. Im tzarich hata daron k'mo tfilas Yaakov. Do I need to give a present? Is it milchama? What's the? We definitely need tefillah. That Am Yisrael is all davening. But what's the main thing that's going to push him down? Is the Mishnah enough? She didn't know. As she's doing it, and this is one of the also profound things in terms of davening. We don't have to have a pre-scripted hisbodedus that we know already exactly all the things we're going to say. You come in, and you can trust the process, and that you'll be able to read the signs. You'll be able to tell from the conversation with Hashem, from what's going on. You'll be able to. You don't need to know everything in advance, right? Ad lo yada. So this is what he's saying from Rabbi Meir Arama. Nistapka Esther, she had it out. Im tzarich ata doron. Does she need, is the main thing gifting, which she is doing some gifting, or is the main thing milchama, which she ends up doing kind of, Haman, she ends up pointing him out, calling him out, what? Miuzevezu, exactly. Gewalt. Chaim. The Keli Van Dale. In tzarich ata doron, k'matzilas, o milchama, k'matzilas Moshe, ki oisa shel Shaul leina machras, ki lo yatzaz, hatzareli kosenu. Wasn't sure. What's the main thing? And so therefore, she didn't know. If you choose the wrong thing, it could be dangerous. If you try to fight and it's not the right path, you'll fight back. It's going to be. If you try to just bribe and give it and it's not the right way, it could backfire also, could make him even more powerful, who knows what. There's also something. We're coming to daven. It's okay to finish your hisbodedus on not sure. Say, to be continued, part 1, right? That is okay, right? Learning a lot of things from here, right? Avo HaMelech v'Haman. To invite Haman into your hisbodedus. This idea that I heard from my dear friend Rav Yehuda Aryeh Klein, my chavrusa and amazing Rosh Chapura Chassidus. Ki rasa kol divrei mishta v'simcha. So she saw, on the one hand, everything's happening through mishta v'simcha, and Shushan is always made. At the beginning, after the first decree, the bad decree, the Melech and Naaman, what did they do? Yashvu, lishtot. She saw this is the way things go. This is like when in Rome, this is what people do. It's like you get together, make a mishta. That's what you do. She had bitachon that her trying, her effort, would itself reveal the next step, right? Says he compares it to doctors. Sometimes a doctor knows that I'll use Lashonis that Judy will be happy with. There's this herb or there's this herb, right? Right? And you're not sure or there's cranosacrial or there's what are the other kinds of what's the one we
Acupuncture.
reflexology, and then which one is going to be the one that's going to help, right? We don't know, right? Harvard drachim l'refuah, and it's within every type of doctor, there are options, and you don't know for sure. And sometimes the doctor gives one kind of medicine and waits. That's his muscle. That's his muscle for this. Amazing. Sometimes the doctor gives one kind of medicine and waits. Let's leave it to nature, and nature will tell us. Right? Breathe. It's okay. You don't have to have it. You don't have to know all the answers. You come in, you try something that makes sense, try something that works, and you have a start. And then let recess, right? L'chaim. My favorite course, recess. First to give something we know for sure we need. We know we need davening. Until nature itself will bring out what the doubt is. And this is all ad kan lashon. This is all within Rabbi Meir Rama. I'm not sure. The Rabbi Yitzchak Rama is the more famous Mefarsh. I'm not sure if it's his son. I'm not sure. V'zuhi hasiba atzma be'enai. Shalo in his eyes. Shalo shala b'yamahu gam achar hamishte devar mehanir tzetzla. Aval chazra l'rishona ki lo rata b'mishtehi siman. She wasn't able to see a clear sign in that first mishteh of what she needs to do. Wasn't sure. It wasn't like Hashem didn't send anything yet. So that's okay. That's okay. In davening sometimes, the initiation itself is unbelievably chashuv. The idea of bringing Haman in is incredible. What do I need to do? Maybe I'll find out next time. That's okay, right? Gewaldig. Like a doctor. Another mistake can't hurt. Right? Because what happened that next night was right? And she understood that there was going to be good news coming, right?
It was coming through war.
What's that?
Through milchama, that's she.
Was that?
It was through milchama. How did she understand it? Through war?
Because sounds like because balaylahu because Haman already had to take Mordechai around on the horse. That there was she saw there was like that's what he says.
To continue.
Niglaylav kamoshe ba balaylahu behevina shadei milchama yavo shalom. She understood that the milchama is going to be the way to bring shalom. V'achar kach u'tzecha l'shlishis, l'tfila, and l'doran hamishta has used all three. The davening, the mishta, which is a doran, and the milchama, which is the accusation. V'ayidei shloshtam ba hagula ad kan lashono. That's in Meir Rama. Chaim. So, yeah, v'seder. That's so nice. Simcha. Welcome.
I would love to hear how you found through the different
Oh yeah.
through the whole story.
Oh wow.
Because in the end
It comes again and again.
What are the weight of those different ways of asking? So
Good point.
Yeah.
my machatan
Yeah.
is going to have to come back.
It's going to be on recording.
In the recording, yeah. But one thing already said is that getting rid of Haman, he said that getting rid of Haman is the sheila, and then repealing the decree is the bakasha. That's what he said. Yeah. Oh.
That actually goes back to what you originally said,
Yeah.
where the she'ela is the smaller thing. She
Right,
says,
just
I'm
me.
asking
Right.
first for my life, and
Right.
then my bakasha,
Right.
the larger thing, is my whole nation. But it doesn't actually carry through in every time.
Right. Every time those two words come
but
up.
maybe if we
Yeah.
understood the deeper meaning behind each one, we might understand how it goes.
Maybe. Thank you.
We make my wheels.
Wonderful. Have a wonderful rest of your stay, and
Thank you so much.
Baruch
Really
Hashem,
beautiful.
Tzeischem Shalom, Baruch Hashem.
Yeah.
Um, so this idea of inviting Haman into your hisbodedus, which I love so much, which I got from my friend Yudaria Klein. You know Yudaria?
Yeah, I heard the name.
From me? From it? Yeah.
From you.
You'll meet him. You have to come to 18 Hagilboa one time. 18 King
Okay.
David. We're both 18s. 18 Gilboa, 18 King David. That's the breast of Koilel is.
Where
King David, like by right, like near the hotels there.
all
Whatever.
those,
Yeah. Any case,
When is
so
the time of the Torah?
like around 9:45 until like 3:30.
Bringing in the Haman.
Yeah, bringing in Haman. Oh. This is the amazing thing. Is so much of the time we come in to the hisbodedus and we're still a little bit under the shilton of Haman. We're still we're afraid. We have yira sumayim. We also have yira of the Yetzer Hara, of negative patterns, of mistakes we've made, of pain, of lack of seeing justice in the world, of things that they take away.
Which will make us worry.
Yeah, things that make us worry. Inviting Haman into the Suda is an incredible thing for hisbodedus. Because when you're with the Melech and you know that you found chen and you're asking, show me that I found chen, right? Which is amazing. In Matzasi chen, Esther sing it again and again throughout the Megillah. Matzasi chen. You want to find chen, right? Because the outlook on life of the Sitra Achra is like what we see by Bilam. We have a Sefer Bamidbar there. There's Bamidbar. The Bilam, when he gets called to curse Am Yisrael, there's a Rashi here that is an absolute heartbreak Rashi. It's a call to tshuva. This Rashi. It's Perek Chaf Be Pasuk Yod. Remember Bilam Elohim Balak Ben Tzipor Melech Moav Shalach Elai. Bilam says to Hashem. Hashem comes to him in the night and says, "Who's there?" And he says, "Oh, the king has sent for me." Says Rashi. Heartbreaking words. Af al pi she'eni chashuv be'einecha, chashuv ani be'einei hamalachim. Why? This is how somebody in the Sitra Achra sees himself. I'm not chashuv to you, Hashem, but I found a way to be chashuv in some replacement way. I'm chashuv in the eyes of kings. Right? Give out. We have to do tshuva. To believe that I am chashuv be'einei hamelech. Right? Im tovani be'einav, later on, Esther says, right? Matzasi chimnim tovani, am I good in your eyes? We need confidence because Haman's words are unbelievably scary. He's got power. He's got might. He's got, and be'ikr, terror. It's a terroristim. What are they trying to do? Their ikr nekuda is to make us afraid, so that we lose our yira shemayim. You know, we have yira only of Hashem. No, there's a little bit of yira. Once there's a little bit of yira for something else, it's you're not really, can't really daven your whole. You can't really feel at home. You can't really feel safe, because I'm not safe because my Malik might get me. And it's intense because it's out there. It's inside me. It's in the world. It's ayuvei. And his whole thing is to convince us that you are not chashuv be'einei Hashem. This is the illness of our generation. I've spoken to a number of great people. We're suffering from feeling unimportant. I'm suffering from it. We're all suffering from it. But the amazing thing is it can be healed, and it seems like that's the only way, but a major way to actually heal it is bring Haman right into his hisbodedus.
What does it mean?
Bring him right in means, firstly, our shir today, we didn't yet get to where she actually accuses him. It'll take a few more shir until we get there. But the first stages of it is that it's okay to be uncomfortable. She's sitting there worried and upset, and the king says, "What's on your mind?" Right? When we bring Haman in, it will be uncomfortable that he's there. I'm not used to that. I'm embarrassed of it. I've been trying to put this under the carpet for 50 years. Whatever it is. I don't want to bring this into my hisbodedus. Right? I'm scared. Pashut. I'm scared of my own self. I'm scared of. I mean, maybe my perception of Hashem itself has gotten all messed up. But I want to put it all on the table. I want Haman right here with the Melech, and then we can really talk it out. If not, it's not all the way a full meeting. It's not the full mishte, right? It is not Purim without Haman, right? So this of bringing Haman in. The first thing is weathering through the discomfort. We know that Rabbeinu said, Torah Vav, famous, unbelievable words. Sorry, I keep asking you. Put them around. It's the second book from the right there. There's one shelf down, the second book from... that's it. So, that's it, yeah. I just want to read the actual words. As Rabbeinu says, Torah Vav. One of the most amazing lines anyone ever said. He says, the ikar hatshuva ksheyishma bizyoina yidam v'yishtak. The essence of tshuva is that when I hear my cheapening, when I hear my embarrassment, I'm able to have inner and outer silence. That's ikar hatshuva. Totally unbelievable. So why is that the ikar hatshuva? And what is this? I'm supposed to look for people who will insult me? Like, what's going on? So I think it was Rav Amram Machmas. I think it's very looking with the Paras Lechachma. I think I just look. Oh, they probably have it here actually. That I'm supposed to look for somebody. Ella, what it's talking about is the Ber Lukutim. What it's talking about is in my hisbodedus. That's what it's talking about. That I'm willing to bring and talk to Hashem about things that are incredibly embarrassing in my hisbodedus. What do you mean keshe yishma? Who says you're going to hear it? Oh, you're going to hear it. If you're doing hisbodedus, you're going to hear it. Yeah? Gewaldig. Amazing. In a way, it's like mamash a raya gemura that we have to bring Haman into our hisbodedus. Otherwise, when are going to be shomea bizyoina? But it's so good. It's so good because when you can have
talking out these dark places of ourselves.
Yes, bringing it right in, telling Hashem everything. Just telling Hashem everything, and you can heal it. And it's a Haman hara hazeh, right? Then until it comes to a point of tzchok. At the beginning, it's very uncomfortable, because I'm really embarrassed. I've been pushing this under the carpet for all my life. I don't want to talk about this. You have to force yourself to even say, and sometimes you're not even sure what and how, and you have to say, okay, look, I started, I'll come back tomorrow, we'll continue, and that is B'Seder Gomer. That is l'chatchila, like we see from here, right? And Adrabah, that's the Lumudim, that's when a Malik falls is dafka, we have to play long ball. Then it's not a one-shot deal, it's not just like a home run, the grand slam, one thing. It's a process, it's thing, right? So, but as we sweating through it, it becomes freilich. It becomes freilich. Till Haman, this is what happens on Purim. When you're getting drunk and you can't tell the difference between our Haman, but you're like, look, can you believe this guy? He's telling me I'm not your beloved child. Ridiculous. What is it ridiculous? I'm a yid. I am the product of thousands of years of Mesiras Nefesh. Pashtus, my blood, my eyes, my bones are the product of thousands of years of Mesiras Nefesh and Kedusha and unbelievable resilience for Doirei Doiris. How dare the Yetzer Hara tell me I'm no good, I'm not good enough. I can't do, my mitzvahs don't count. my tefillah, no one's listening. Ha ha ha. At the beginning, it's very hard to even say it, to admit it to how I feel. But then, once you could start like laughing at it, oh my gosh, it's Gan Eden.
No, after you do that, you can hang it.
Then you said, Mamish, Tuluhu alav, right?
But there was a process in between. There's many things which happen.
There's a lot of so much. All the 12 reasons that she invited Haman are all. One of them is, remember, that the Melech will see that I have to be mezalzel in my own kavod, and he'll be toivei on my kavod. Hashem will say like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe. Meaning, this is not about. This is like Hashem. That Hashem will see. I can't believe that this tzaddikas has to invite Amalek. It has to invite Haman to. It's like passages. It's so sad that she has to degrade herself in inviting Haman. Right? The Hashem is margish that Hashem feel. It's like there's a lot of nuance. There's levels upon levels going on here. What does it mean to Hashem when He sees how discomfortable I am because I invited Haman into these budgets? Hashem Himself wants to help me out of that discomfort also, right? So amazing. And the Yidom v'yishtok, what is Yidom v'yishtok? Why is it Ikar Tshuva? Because it's my safety.
What's the Yidom v'yishtok?
Safety. The Yidom v'yishtok is the silence, inner and outer silence. When I hear the Bizayon, I don't try to answer it up. I'm talking in front of Hashem in full surrender. I'm not giving terutzim. And I'm not even on the inside sort of rationalizing it.
Is it relating to Yisraelis, the Yidom v'yishtok? Or is it relating to...
That's the pshat of the Beri Likutim, that Iker HaTshuva K'sheyishma Bizyono Yidom v'yishtok, when are you Shomea Bizyono? When you're doing the Hizbaitis, when you bring Haman into these Baitis and you tell Hashem about that, right? This is, I have my friend Daniel Wurzberger lives right across from the Chesed, and I have a minute after I go into Chesed, I go into his house also, and I always go and say, Daniel Gematria Haman, because my name's also Daniel. We both have like a Haman dance. What? No, a different Daniel Wurzberger. He's also right. There's a bunch of Daniels now. So, yeah. So Chaim. Haman is also incredibly Gematria Hamelech. Amazing. If you really want to have Hamelech, you need to have Haman there and work through it. Shlomi, Shalom Aleichem. You need to work through it. We're just learning, but we have to invite Haman into our Hizbaididus. And the first time we do it, it's going to be uncomfortable. And the Melech is going to see you sitting there ba'agmas nefesh and say, what's up? And all you'll have the koach to say is, let's just do this again. And that is okay. The first time is hard. We're sweating through it. We're hearing our bizyonis. Ikar HaTshuva happens in Hizbaididus, says the Bir Likutim. When am I going to be Zaycha to be Shomea Bizyoni? If it's the Ikar HaTshuva. That's what healthy Hizbaididus is. I'm bringing Haman in. I'm inviting him in. Otherwise, I'm all the time still afraid of something other than God. I'm all the time still, so my davening isn't the full davening. And the safety, the Yidom v'yishtok, the silence, means that I understand that Hashem gave me a body and a Yetzer Hara and challenges and family stuff and who knows what other challenges, financial, medical, spiritual, emotional, all these things, la aleinu, we shouldn't have any, but they're there, they should have the smallest, tiniest ones. Our worst problem should be figuring out Tosfos. Is that but we're facing these things, and we need to bring Haman in. We need to bring Haman into these Baididus. Until we do that, we're not all the way really talking to God, because we're still afraid of this other guy also. We're still afraid of this thing in our own selves, of this dynamic in our relationships, of this we have to bring it in. and find this profound silence that we don't have to protest. We don't have to tishmana aznai. My ears can hear from, like Rashi says to Bikrovalei Mereim tishmana vatabedeni b'shturai. Excuse me. Tishmana oznai. Rashi says in Tilim Tzadi Beis, my ears hear from the other side, from the highest of heavens, that they're not going to win. Everything seems like they're winning. I heard, I know, I can hear the music. I can hear something higher than this, right? We have that, we have access to that. Shabbos, that's the Inyan of Tshuva. That is the quiet that the Jew can have. That Moshe Chavid Shabbos had while he was being beaten to death, on the train. You have to say one more time. Chavid Shabbos, another story. And they beat him up. But he stayed silent. Why? Because he knew there's going to be a machar. There's going to be. Even if I'm losing, and even if I still have so bizyonis, I still have so much that I'm still messing up on, things I thought I'd have been finished with 10 years ago, 2 years ago, they're still haunting me and bothering me and messing me. Okay, say there, but I can still have Yidom v'Yishta. I can have a profound silence. I know that I'm with Hashem. I'm not like Bilam, who says, Eini chashuv be'einecha. I'm not chashuv in your eyes. So I compensate with the chashivus of be'einei malachim v'sarim. That's what I can heal from that. How? His bodhidus is. It's the only way I know that really does it. You can actually heal from it. You can actually heal from it by bringing Haman in, by sweating through the discomfort, by being okay with partial success and coming back the next day, being unsure exactly what my method is, and I'll learn it on the job. I'll figure it out as we go along, and that is okay. That's lechatchila. That's how it works. And then the second time, Be'ezus Hashem, we can start laughing at Haman, laughing at how stupid he is, that he's making these arguments to make us feel so small all the time, and it's just mean. He's just a meanie. He's just a mean kid in the sandbox who was just like never. Will somebody give that kid a hug? Will somebody? It's just come on. And Mitzvah Hashem, Shizaycha, to really invite Haman in, to have and to invite and invite Hashem with Haman, and then do it again and again and again with the machar, with the whole process. Shabbos, Chaim, questions and thoughts. Chaim. Shlomo, great to see you. There's that there's it's recorded, and this whole shir is also on YouTube. It's on there's a Simchat Shlomo YouTube channel, and it's being recorded and it's going to be right up there. You can listen to the beginning part of it.
Okay, it's just much harder to get to when it's not live, so it's much.
I hear you. Yeah. I totally hear you. It's great to see you, brother. How is Hadassah? What was it? What was the name?
Chaim David.
Oh, right. There's somebody else. I was just like last week. I gave the name to Hadassah Nechon. Right. Chaim. David. Right. Ah, so beautiful. Chaim. Okay.
He's all right. He's right here actually.
Oh, awesome. Where are you? You're in Borough Park?
I live in Staten Island.
Oh, Staten Island. Wow, cool. Amazing. Beautiful.
If you ever have to pass by on the way to somewhere.
I believe next time I'm in America. This year, I don't know when's the next time I'll be there, but